Saudi jets hit several government rates. Continuous efforts to fight cholera outbreaks. Social campaigns addressing the humanitarian situation. Good evening and welcome to Yemen Today's News. I'm Ali Nasser Al-Khamri. Saudi warplanes resumed targeting Ta'iz's government rate southwest of Yemen. The Saudi warplanes waged 3 strikes on several areas of Makbana district west of the government rate. Previously, the Saudi military aircraft launched heavy bombardment on Al-Amri mountains in Dhubab district and many others in Mawza' and Muka directorates. In Sa'da northern government rate, the enemy's military aircraft resumed attacking several directorates among heavy flying. Local sources in the government rate reported that the Saudi airstrikes targeted Al-Zahir western district and raided Shada neighboring district with 4 raids. In Haidan mountainous district, the Saudi warplanes attacked Al-Aqaba of Maran area, causing damages and fear among civilians. In previous hours, Saudi warplanes targeted Berkan area of Razih district, resulting in cutting the main road. Saudi warplane retargeted Harad district northwest Hajjah government rate. The Saudi jets hit with raids Al-Mizraq area of Harad bordering district. An area, the same area was targeted by the enemy's jets with 7 airstrikes, according to local sources. In southern government rate of Lahaj, Saudi warplanes launched 3 air raids on Al-Qubayta district. Local sources confirmed that 4 Saudi airstrikes targeted As-Sihi of Ashraija region north of Lahj. The Saudi warplanes targeted the same area with hundreds of airstrikes during the last 2 years, resulted in killing and injuring tens of civilians and severe damages to private and public properties. The Saudi-based mercenaries continued their attacks on civilians in many government rates. In Al-Jawf government rate, a child was shot by mercenaries in Al-Matoon directorate. In Marib government rate, the Saudi-based mercenaries shelled with Katyusha citizens' homes in Sarwah, causing destructions and damages to several houses. It's worth mentioning that the local authority in Sarwah Marib government rate declared the directorate a disaster area as a result of the continuous targeting by Saudi-led coalition air raids since March 2015. Foreign Minister Hisham Sharaf met with the charge d'affaires of the Embassy of Russia in Sana'a. In the meeting, the Foreign Minister referred to the Saudi Arabia attempt to create a new alliance or regional organization in the region to destabilize the security and stability of the Arab Peninsula and the Middle East. The Foreign Minister retreated the position of the political leadership in Yemen towards a just and honorable political settlement and a sustainable peace, with Saudi Arabia sitting at the negotiation table in any future political settlement arrangements as the main financier and commander of the aggression. For his part, the charge d'affaires of Russia stressed Russia's position that call for the cessation of the aerial bombardment and military operations and start negotiations to reach a comprehensive political and peaceful settlement that guarantees security, peace and stability in Yemen. Minister of Public Health and Population Dr. Mohammed Salim Bahafidh has directed hospitals and medical centers which selected to treat cholera patients to perform treatment for free. The minister explained that the ministry is seeking to allocate many hospitals and centers to isolate the suspected cases of cholera from the rest of the patients in hospitals to avoid any spread of infection, as well as to communicate with the World Health Organization and UNICEF to participate in the fight against this epidemic. Dr. Ben Hafid stressed that facing the second wave of cholera calls for cooperation and coordination between all ministries and concerned parties to raise the level of readiness especially emergency, and taking precautions to prevent the spread of cholera. It's noteworthy that the latest statistics of the suspected patients has reached 1,600 cases. Humanitarian organizations working in the country have visited a number of hospitals in the capital city of Sana'a to check on cholera patients. Here is a report.
Day by day, the cholera epidemic spread widely in all governorates of Yemen. Mohsen, the elderly man of 50 years old, is suffering of coronavirus, which affects his healthy conditions. The scary spreading of cholera epidemic made the humanitarian forum in Yemen with human appeal organization to pay attention to present the humanitarian assistance to stop spreading cholera epidemic, which represent on providing the medical equipment and providing 100 beds for the cholera patient.
بداية تفشي مرض الكوليرا حاليا في اليمن.
Day by day, the cholera epidemic spread in Yemen all over hospital, and this is miserable. We can't sit to talk with them because they are cholera patients, but we only talk to them. From here, we are on behalf of the humanitarian organization will present the full support through establishing another center to receive the cholera cases.
يعني دعم مركز إضافي لاستقبال هذه الحالات.
The emergency room in all hospitals of capital of Sana'a are full of cholera cases, which was of humanitarian catastrophic. The statistics of cholera patients reached to 70 people, among them elderly and children who arrived to the capital hospitals.
الوضع اللي احنا بنشوفه هنا وفي محافظات
The health situation is catastrophic, and the cases of cholera increases every day, which threaten of catastrophic healthy condition in Yemen.
صنعاء باشتباه وجود الكوليرا فيها.
We hope this visit convey Yemeni suffering because of the siege and war, which prevent the access of medicines and equipment to the hospital. As you say, Al-Sab'in hospital is full of cholera, and we received yesterday more than 70 cholera cases. The miserable and humanitarian situation, in addition to the unjust siege imposed in Yemen, stopped access to medical equipment and medicine to the hospital, and badly affected the health situation in Yemen.
Hodeidah is the most suffering governorate as a result of the continuous aggression and siege and the famine which sweeping its most areas. Here is a report.
Hodeidah, the bride of the Red Sea, that was robbed this title by the Saudi aggression, which drove the lives of its people to the hell because of the unjust siege on our country, that they bribed many of the people in this province to obtain the minimum means of decent living, and they bribed its families from practicing the profession of fishing, the only source of livelihood, due to continuous jet bombing. The Saudi aggression spread the famine among the people of Hodeidah, who died daily from diseases caused by the malnutrition and their inability to get food and medicine because of the extreme poverty. The Saudi aggression made the people of Hodeidah in a dire need of food, medicine and humanitarian services, led its hospital to receive daily the sick and hungry from various villages along the west coastline, where the number of cases of malnutrition reached to 434 cases, while the number of deaths due to the severe malnutrition raised to 85. Most of the residents of Hodeidah depend on fishing, but today they are unable to practice their profession and can't enter the sea as before because of the aggression, which doesn't differentiate between this or that, and the fishing boat became the main target of its planes and battleship. That made many people unable to buy the basic needs of food and medicine for them and their families, and destroyed the infrastructure, bringing the population to the tragic situation they are living today. The situation in Hodeidah has reached a very serious level in the light of the continuation of Saudi aggression, which whipped out the aspects of life in the province, in the shadow of the international silence that doesn't care about the lives of the civilians as long as Saudi money flows towards them.
The local authority in the Mirwah district in Hodeidah launched a project to address malnourished children, which includes 6 other directorates in 5 months. The project to treat malnourished children and provide care for pregnant mothers, as well as provide immunization and complementary health care services. The project, which covers the second and third level villages, come in response to the deteriorating health situation in the rural areas of the governorate, especially after the spread of serious malnutrition among children. A charity bazaar was organized to raise awareness of looking after orphans and protecting their rights. More in this report.
Orphans in Yemen suffer from the Saudi brutal aggression and unfair blockade. The orphans face too much difficulty in surviving, which is a clear war crime against children, especially orphans. A charity bazaar took part in relieving the suffering of orphans who die of famine every day. The aggression and blockade lead to a big humanitarian crisis. Why famine and lack of aids are in many areas in Yemen. Why there aren't enough medical equipment which help children survive. For I Have a Heart, an activity organized by Tanfeed Institution for Development, shows the orphans who pay the bill of Saudi aggression. Due to last statistics, there are 1.7 million orphans in Yemen. The orphan has no parents, but they have a community. We have to understand and see the orphans' feelings and problems. Some are sons of citizens and some are of men defending our country. Orphan centers were closed because of Saudi aggression, which as well caused the cutting of support. There is no other choice for orphans but to resist.
وجودكم اليوم هنا نساء ورجال شباب.
Your presence here, women, men and young people, is the summit of steadfastness and resistance against aggression of Saudi Arabia and Gulf. Despite the crisis, we are people of Yemen and Arab Island, heads up on every aggressor. Enjoy Orphans Day. Orphans' innocence has pushed society to protect their rights in accordance with international child and human rights law.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, back to today's headlines. Saudi jets hit several governorates. Continuous efforts to fight cholera outbreaks. Social campaigns addressing the humanitarian situation. Thanks for watching and good night.